Hi friends, how are you all? So now I will be discussing with you the solution to IGNOU term and examination question paper of 2020 December 2020 TEE December 2020 full solution to the question paper of EEC-11 the fundamentals of economics. Okay. In this session, I will not be giving you the detailed answer or anything. I will be giving you the key points of the solution, and also I will give you the reference or the page number in the study material where you will be able to find the points of the question. Okay. In this video, we will be discussing the section 1 or section A, the long answer type questions. Before we go into the answer or the solution, let us have a look at the questions. Before we go into the solutions for the question paper, I would like to give a suggested answering pattern. Okay, this pattern is one which I favor myself. Okay, so according to the answering pattern, there are three. I have divided into three. For long answer type questions where you have to write long 200 words or more, first of all, in the first para, you should introduce the basic idea of the question. Okay, whether it is related to consumers equilibrium or whether it is related to demand, production, okay, such things. Then you will be coming to the central idea of the question. Suppose the question is related to the cardinal utility approach to determine consumers equilibrium. So how does the cardinal utility come in relation to the basic idea of the question? That you will give in the next paragraph or in the same paragraph last. So it should be a small paragraph. After that, you will be explaining the main points of the question. What are the basic or key points that give the solution to the question? Okay. Then a small and concise conclusion. It should be short and it should be correct. Okay. Then for medium answer type questions, okay, first of all we will give a very short introduction to the basic idea and also might be how the relationship between the basic idea and the central idea of the question comes. Now after that you will be explaining the basic points of the question, of the solution to the question, and then a small conclusion. Not so large. Okay, it should be small and crisp. Then one main tip I would like to give you is prefer writing point wise rather than in paragraphs. Okay, because if you write point wise, it will be easy for the instructor to correct. Also, it will increase your chances of getting good marks. Okay, so better you write point wise rather than writing in big paragraphs. Now let us go to the first question. It is related to consumers equilibrium, right? So I am giving you the main points. The consumer attains equilibrium when he maximizes satisfaction upon spending money on goods. Okay, so when consumer is spending money, he attains satisfaction. It is the basic idea of the question. And we are coming to the assumptions of the utility approach. The first is utility or satisfaction is measurable. Then prices of goods, money, income are constant. Monotonicity of preference or preference for more of anything. Then constant marginal utility of money, which are the assumptions of the approach. Then comes the law of eventual diminishing marginal utility, which states that as a consumer consumes more and more units of a commodity, okay, his marginal utility from each successive consumption goes on diminishing. Okay, this is about law of diminishing marginal utility. Then we will have to explain the concepts of total utility and marginal utility. Then we are coming to the main law, which is the law of equilibrium marginal utility given by Alfred Marshall. It states that as a consumer will allocate his expenditure in such a manner that the utility gain from the last rupee spent on each good is constant. So in single commodity case and two commodity case, you can explain the conditions for consumers equilibrium based on the law of equimarginal utility. In single commodity case, it will be MUX is equal to PX. In two commodity case, it will be MUX by PX is equal to MUY by PY is equal to marginal utility of money. Now you can give any relevant example for this also. Okay, you can better it is either you take single commodity or two commodity. Better is to take two commodities case. You can give a marginal utility schedule of both commodities and explain how the consumer attains equilibrium. Okay, preferably there will not be just one point where MUX by PX is equal to MUY by PY. Okay, that's it. Then also you will consider the budget constraint. Okay, so you can give any relevant example. For more, you can refer page number 30 to 35 of block 2 of the IGNOU printed study material. Then we are coming to the second question, which is related to demand. The first part of the question asks us to differentiate between price elasticity of demand and cross elasticity of demand. As you always prefer, I have given it in tabular format, which is better to express the answer. So in price elasticity, it is calculated with reference to the own price of the commodity. However, cross elasticity is calculated with respect to the price of related goods, may it be substitute or complementary goods. Okay. Then the second point is price elasticity of demand. Here the price of the good varies when we are considering a 2-point method of computing price elasticity. Here, but in cross elasticity, price of the good, the own price does not vary. Then the third difference is coefficient of price elasticity is always negative due to the inverse relationship between price of a good and quantity demanded. However, in the case of cross elasticity, the sign depends on the nature of the related good. If it is substitute good, the coefficient will be positive. If it is complementary good, the coefficient will be negative. Then we are coming to the final formula. For price elasticity, it will be delta Q1 by Q1 into P1 by delta P1. Okay. However, in cross elasticity, it will be delta Q1 by Q1 but into P2 by delta P2. So for more, you can refer to page number 11, 12 and 20 of block 2 of study material. Then the second question or the second sub question asks us to compute various cross price elasticities. Okay, first of all, according to the point elasticity method, here we are using point elasticity method, the coefficient of elasticity will be equal to dq1 by dq1 by dpj into pj by q1. Here pj means the price of good with respect to which we are computing elasticity. For example, E12 elasticity of good 1 with respect to price of good 2 will be equal to minus 6 by 17. That is, good 2 is complementary to the given good. E13, there are only 3 prices. E13 will be equal to 8 by 17, which shows that good 3 is a substitute of the given good. This minus 3 and 2 we are getting by differentiating the relationship between quantity of good 1 and price of good 2. Okay, with respect to price of good 2 and price of good 3 respectively. So for more, you can refer page number 14 of block 2 of IGNOU study material. Then we are coming to the third question. The basic idea here is national income. The basic point is we are differentiating between means private income and personal income, right? So first of all, you can either explain national income first and then come to private income, which is your choice. But formula for private income will be income from domestic product accruing to private sector plus net factor income from abroad plus national debt interest plus transfer payments by government departments plus net current transfers from rest of the world. Personal income will be equal to private income minus corporate savings minus corporate tax. So to illustrate the difference between the two, we are again using the tabular format. The first point is the private income includes income of business enterprises. Okay, but personal income does not include income of business enterprises. It only includes income of individuals. So it will not include in corporate savings and corporate tax. However, private income will include corporate savings and corporate tax. And second, private income is a broader concept, while personal income is a narrow concept which is a part of private income. For more, you can refer page number 17 of block 6 of IGNOU study material. Then in the second part of the question, we are told to explain production method as a method to determine national income. Right. First of all, in production method, we are dividing the producing enterprises into various sectors. The primary sector includes agriculture, forestry, fishery, and these exploit natural resources directly to harness output. Then the second sector is the secondary sector, which includes manufacturing enterprises. It includes registered manufacturing, unregistered manufacturing, construction activities, electricity, gas and water. Then the third sector is the tertiary sector, which includes railways, other means of transport, trade, commerce, banking and other ancillary services. So then we are coming to the steps to estimate national income by production method. First of all, we'll have to identify productive enterprises and classify them according to the activities performed into the various sectors, primary, secondary or tertiary. Second, estimate value added. What is value added? Value added is equal to value of output minus intermediate consumption or raw input consumption by the sector. Value of output in turn is given by sales plus change in stock. Change in stock is closing stock minus opening stock. Then if we add the value added by all sectors, we will get the gross value added. This gross value added is equal to gross domestic product at market price. Okay, then we should compute net factor income from abroad. Finally, we will use a given formula to get national income, which is national income will be equal to GDP MP, which we computed in step 2 or step 3, minus depreciation, okay, minus net indirect taxes or indirect taxes minus subsidies plus NFIA. Okay, for more you can refer to page number 27 and 28 of block 6 of IGNOU study material. Then we are coming to the fourth question, which is related to monopoly. It asks us to explain monopoly, conditions which lead to monopoly, and pricing and output decision of a monopolist firm. So what is monopoly? Here it is a market structure where only one firm supplying a commodity for which there are no close substitutes. Okay, the basic features of monopoly are single seller, homogeneous or differentiated product, but no close substitute. Then the third feature is no free entry into the industry. There are barriers. You will have to explain each of these points when you are appearing for the examination. Okay, here I am giving only the key points which you can include in your solution. What are the causes or conditions that give rise to monopoly? First are the natural causes. Okay, this includes the control over the raw materials by the monopoly firm. Whatever raw materials are required to manufacture the product, which will be controlled by the monopoly firm. Then comes legal factors, which are more prominent these days. Okay, it includes government permits or rights or patents which are registered in order to safeguard the technology used in the commodity. Then we are coming to technical factors which give rise to monopoly. It basically includes high capital investment requirements which new firms might not be able to do. Okay, then there are other factors like established brand name. If a firm has established itself a good brand name, then customers will not prefer the product of any other firm. Okay, then predatory pricing policy. Okay, it is a pricing policy which was designed in such a manner so as to keep out rivals. Whenever the rivals see this pricing policy, they will immediately realize they can't compete against it. Then the size of market. If the size of market is very small and the monopoly firm already has most of it, then nobody will enter the industry. Then we come to the pricing and output decision of the monopoly firm. First, at the onset, if a firm is entering into the industry, then the firm will never fix a price at a point where elasticity of demand is less than unity. Why? Because if elasticity is less than unity, elasticity is less than 1, then MR will be MR means MC will be greater than MR. Okay, MR will be negative. Then we come to the short-run and long-run equilibrium. It is basically the same conditions. Relevant period MR should be equal to MC and MC intersects MR from below. Okay. Here the first point is, if ED is less than unity, MR will be less than MC. So if the firm wants to get MR greater than MC, then the firm will keep up point where ED is greater than or equal to unity at least. Then the third point is the monopoly firm will never fix a price such that average revenue is less than average cost, whether it be long run or short run. However, in the long run, there are possibilities of supernormal profits accruing to the monopoly firm. So for more details regarding this question, you can refer to page 23 and 24 of block 4 of IGNOU study material. So you can refer to these points, these page numbers, and you can elaborate these points when you are appearing for the examination. So hope it will be useful and wishing you all the best for your examination. Thank you.